Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your man Unspoken Reviews back again with a movie review of Bad Boys 4 Ride or Die. All right, guys. So me and the Bad Boys films have been kind of on a tangent. I really liked the first Bad Boys film. I didn't really care much for the second one. I felt like that one was just overinflated or overplayed too much. But the third one, I think, did an amazing job of picking up, later on. Even though the movies were much later on in the years, it still did a great job and I enjoyed it. I was kind of looking forward to watching the fourth one. The third film did a really great job of just breaking new ground with the characters. We got to see not only Mike and Marcus grow, but we also got to see the characters around them grow, watch how things have changed, how things have evolved, especially with the times now. Police usually have one way they've worked in one generation, and we get to kind of see how they switch up in a different generation. And I liked how that movie did that. In this film, we pick up on the events of the third, where Mike is now getting married and settling down. And a little after that, we find out that Captain Howard, who was deceased in the third film, is now being framed for an abundance of involvements with the cartel. And despite all the evidence pointing against them, Mike and Marcus believe he's innocent and decide to do everything they can to clear his name. This movie did a great job of the emotional scenes of not just those two and what they're dealing with, but also with the characters around them. I was a little worried that involving Captain Howard was something that was overplayed since his death in the third film. However, they made sure that he was included in a way that, you really did miss the character being around, but you also felt his presence as a realization that his character has been a major part of the franchise. And though I was worried that this movie wouldn't break new ground, it does a great job of watching all of the characters grow, not just our main protagonists, but everyone around them as well. In this film, Mike is now getting married, and we find out, however, that Captain Howard is being framed for involvement with the cartel. Money has been moved against his name, and even though he's gone, the FBI and including the Miami Police Department are believing that he may be responsible, and the only ones that believe that's not true are both Mike and Marcus. And even though these characters are progressing forward, we also get the supporting characters that are progressing forward as well, and everybody is affected by the events going on. Mike also has to enlist the help of his son, Armando. We know he was arrested in the third film after giving himself up. He has an involvement in this situation, and not only that, but Howard's family, however, is also put in the situation as well, as she wants, as Howard's daughter is still pissed off at Armando for the death of her father, and rightly so. This was another thing I felt like this movie did. It did well enough to make the emotional connection between the characters enough that they were valid, that you would believe them. Sometimes when we see certain movies, we wonder why some characters are mad at others, but this movie does a great job of taking the other entries in the franchise and making them have meaning, not just to the audience, but to the characters playing in the film. There were some pretty awesome action scenes in this movie as well. The fights between, with Mike and Marcus in the helicopter, even Armando's fight scenes were pretty awesome when it was just him solo. And shout out to Reggie. The character had a very awesome action scene that was leading up to it, and it was pretty awesome how they made it work. In the third film, we do find out he's a Marine, and even though here in the fourth film they drop little breadcrumbs to remind you that he is a Marine, but they really do play up that action beat with him towards the ending of the film. Like, if you guys are wondering if you should go see this, I think it's definitely an action movie worth seeing. It definitely does a great job of showing the effects of what the third film has done to the characters. And if you guys are just looking for a great summer movie to sit down and enjoy with someone you love, I believe this is a film you would thoroughly enjoy.